Now look at this. Cracks all over the place, spalling all over the place, all across the concrete driveway. Places that hold water when it should be running off. This driveway was built in 1983, and by the looks of it, as you can see, it's done. Now this might surprise you. I'm actually not going to replace this with concrete. I'm going with asphalt. I've got nearly 30 years in construction, mortgage lending, and real estate sales, specializing in new construction most of my career. So when I make that call to go asphalt, there's a reason behind it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what went wrong here, how to properly maintain your driveway so you're not in this situation yourself in the future. I'm also going to give you your 2 best replacement options and real costs associated with it. I'm going to show you the complete project demo, the base work, and all the way to the completion of the renovation of the driveway. Everything here, right now. Welcome home. Let's unlock this. I'm Justin, with nearly 30 years in construction, mortgage lending, new home sales, and real estate. I created Justin's Key to Home Life to help you make smarter decisions about your home, from buying it, building equity in it, to living better in it every single day. Now let's talk about this driveway. Before we talk solutions, let's talk about what you're actually looking at when concrete fails. Because if you see cracks and think, it's just old, there's much more going on beneath the surface, literally. "42 years of freeze-thaw cycles, 0 maintenance, and Maryland winters doing what Maryland winters do. The deterioration runs the full length of this driveway. This is spalling, the surface layer literally flaking apart. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. Water gets into those open pores, freezes, expands, and breaks off more surface every single winter. These aren't surface hairlines. These are deep structural cracks running through the full thickness of the slab. This section has actually dropped. The base underneath eroded and shifted over the years, and the slab followed it down. That's a trip hazard and a drainage problem sitting right there. And right next to it, a section that's heaved upward, frost heave. The ground froze, expanded, and pushed the slab up. When you've got sections sinking and sections rising side by side, the base is completely compromised. Here's the question you need to answer first. Is this a repair situation or a replacement situation? If your damage covers more than 50% of the surface and the base is compromised, or you've got deep cracking and heaving like this, it's time to replace. Patching at this point is just a band-aid on a broken arm. Here's something I need you to hear, because I wish the previous owners of this home had known it. I bought this house in 2019, and when I got here, this driveway was already showing serious signs of neglect. No sealing, no crack repairs, no drainage maintenance. Years of de-icing salt eating away at the surface, water sitting in the cracks, freezing, expanding, and destroying the slab from the inside out. By the time I walked in the door, I was already years behind on a losing battle. So let me give you the maintenance roadmap I wish had been followed here. Whether your concrete is brand new or you're trying to extend what you've already got. If your concrete is brand new, fresh concrete needs time to cure before you stress it. Stay off it on foot for at least 24 to 48 hours and keep vehicles off for a full 5 to 7 days. Full structural strength takes about a month. So if you've got heavy vehicles, give it that time. Once it's cured, apply a penetrating sealer within the first 30 days. This is the single most important thing you can do for a new driveway. A quality sealer fills the pores in the surface and creates a barrier against water, oil, and de-icing salt. And here's something most new homeowners don't find out until it's too late. Your builder almost certainly did not seal your driveway. That is not something most builders include. They pour the concrete, finish it, and move on. The sealing and all ongoing maintenance is entirely on you. If you are in a new construction home right now, go look at your driveway. If it hasn't been sealed, that needs to happen before your first winter. That is your investment sitting out there completely unprotected. And speaking of winter, I have to say this because I see it constantly and it genuinely hurts me every time. A new homeowner moves in, first winter hits, they grab a bag of rock salt from the hardware store and pour it all over their brand new driveway. I completely understand why. It works fast, it's cheap, and everybody does it. But what they don't realize is they are chemically destroying their driveway from day one. Salt draws moisture into the surface. When that moisture freezes and expands into the pores of the concrete, it breaks the material apart from the inside out. On a new driveway that hasn't even fully hardened yet, that damage starts immediately, and compounds every single winter. I've seen driveways 5 years old that look close to what you just saw in that footage, simply because the homeowner salted every winter and never sealed the surface. Some other ideas? Use sand for traction instead, or look for products labeled concrete safe ice melt. They exist, they work, and they won't destroy your investment, and many of them are even pet safe. Just put the rock salt away. Your future self will thank you. Now, as your concrete gets older, reseal it every 2 to 3 years. Don't wait until you see damage. By then, the protection is already gone. Sealing is cheap, replacement is not. When you see a crack, and you will, all concrete cracks eventually, fill it in immediately. A hairline crack costs almost nothing to fix. That same crack after 2 freeze-thaw winters becomes a structural problem. Use a concrete crack filler. Let it cure and seal over it. And watch your edges. The edges of a concrete slab are the most vulnerable spot on your whole driveway. This is what happens when edges go ignored for years. It starts small, water gets underneath, and before long, you got structural failure working its way across the entire slab. A properly maintained concrete driveway can last 30 to 40 years. Mine made it to 42, but the last 20 of those were rough because nobody took care of it. If you're in a newer home, put a reminder on your phone right now to seal it within the first month and every 2 to 3 years after that. Don't wait for your builder to tell you, because they won't. Protecting that investment is on you. Now let me break down your 2 best options for replacement. All right, when it comes to replacing a failing concrete driveway, you've got 2 solid options. Let me break them both down right away. Option A is asphalt. Think of it as the fast, flexible, budget-friendly route. Here's how the process generally goes. A contractor assesses your base, drainage slope, soil stability, thickness targets. If your base is still solid, you might be able to do an overlay. If not, it's a full tear out, which is what I'm doing. Then they will remove the old concrete, haul it for recycling, then they compact crushed stone base, a layer of binder course, that's your structural layer, and finish with the surface course that gives you that smooth, clean look you drive on every day. What I love about asphalt, you can walk on it in the same day and drive on it within 1 to 3 days. No week-long parking shuffle. For most family, that's a huge win. Cost-wise, you're generally looking at $3 to $7 per square foot installed. A standard 2-car driveway around 500 to 600 square feet typically lands in the low to mid thousands. With proper maintenance, asphalt typically lasts 15 to 25 years, and up to 30 to 40 years or more when the base is done right and you stay on top of sealing. My neighbors across the street have an asphalt driveway original to their house from the late 1980s. That's 35 plus years. Proper installation and maintenance is everything. The trade-off? You'll need to seal coat every 3 to 5 years. Inexpensive maintenance, but you got to stay on top of it. Option B is new concrete. This is the long game choice. If you're planning to stay in your home for decades, want a lighter, brighter look, or want decorative options like stamping or exposed aggregate, concrete might be your answer. They demo the old slab, rebuild the base, set forms, pour with reinforcement rebar or wire mesh, then it cures. You're usually waiting 5 to 7 days before driving on it, and about a month before full strength. Cost-wise, you're typically looking at $6 to $12 per square foot, a heavier upfront investment, but when installed right, concrete can last 25 to 40 years with less day-to-day maintenance. The trade-off in our mid-Atlantic climate? Salt. De-icing salt pits the surface over time, and repairs stand out. You can't blend a concrete patch the way asphalt lets you. Now I want to tell you exactly why I personally chose asphalt for my home, and what I did differently than a standard install. So here's why I personally went with asphalt. Our winters. Asphalt is flexible. It moves with freeze and thaw cycles instead of cracking sharply when the ground shifts. That's a real advantage in this climate. Curb appeal at a lower cost. A fresh black driveway looks sharp and costs significantly less than concrete to get there. But honestly, this wasn't just a replacement project. We're expanding the whole footprint. Our family is growing. My in-laws are visiting more and more, and we needed space where they can actually park without blocking anyone in or out of the garage. And that area right there, that's where we're also making room for an RV or trailer. More usable space, better flow, built for real family life. And the big one for my situation, I've got heavy vehicles. When you've got something that heavy sitting overnight, you need to build for it. Here's what I did differently. 6 inches of asphalt total, 2 compacted layers. 3 inches compacted for the binder course, and another 3 inches compacted for the surface course. For most families, that's overkill. But for my situation, I wanted to build it right and build it once. And here's something I discovered when they removed the old slab. I watched every bit of it on my security camera, and there was virtually no gravel base under that 1983 concrete. They poured directly on native soil. The good news is my soil is sandy, not clay. Sandy soil drains extremely well and doesn't heave with freeze-thaw cycles the way clay does, which is honestly why that driveway survived 42 years with no real base underneath it. Know your soil type before any hardscape project. It changes everything about how you spec the build. I also confirmed with my contractor that the drainage slope runs at least 2% away from the house. That keeps water from sneaking toward the foundation, one of the most expensive problems a homeowner can face. This is the last time you're going to see it looking like this. Let's watch what happens next. I wasn't able to be home for most of the work, so I captured this on my home security camera. And honestly, that's a good thing because you get to see the real process without me in the way. First, the demolition. The crew breaking up 42 years of concrete and hauling it out for recycling. This is the part most homeowners never see, and it's impressive how fast a good crew moves. The entire demo and initial grade happened in a single day. Now pay close attention here. This is the base work. After the concrete is gone, they shape the subgrade and bring in crushed stone base material. This right here is what separates a driveway that lasts 20 years from one that fails in 5. 6 inches of compacted gravel built up in lifts. Here's something most homeowners would never think to do. While I was waiting on the crew to return and finish the base due to weather, I drove my 7,500-pound truck back and forth across every inch of that gravel. Multiple passes, multiple days. When you don't have a plate compactor on site, you use what you got. Turns out I had a 7,500-pound compaction machine sitting in my garage the whole time. You cannot rush the base. Compaction is everything. The contractor also did compaction. I just wanted to ensure it was well compacted. Now the binder course goes down, your structural layer. Hot asphalt spread and rolled while it's still hot. 3 inches compacted down solid. And finally the surface course. Another 3 inches compacted down, smooth finished layer. Watch the edges where it meets the garage slab and the street. A good crew hand finishes those transitions so there's no lip for water to catch. That's the build. What took the crew multiple days on the ground, you just watched in about 2 minutes. All right, here it is. 6 inches thick, 2 compacted layers, built for an RV and heavy trucks. Look at this edge right here. Clean transition, no lip, no gap, nowhere for water to pool and work its way underneath. And notice the slope running away from the house, not toward it. That 2% grade is protecting the foundation every single time it rains. You can't see it, but it's one of the most important things your contractor gets right. From a crumbling, neglected 1983 mess to this. It felt really good driving on this driveway the first time. Now let's talk about how to pay for a project like this without the stress. I'll see you inside. Let's talk money, because this is where a lot of people get stuck and it doesn't have to be complicated. If asphalt fits your budget and you can cover it from savings, that's your cleanest move. No interest, no debt, done. If you need financing, a HELOC, which is also known as a home equity line of credit, is one of the best tools available for exactly this kind of project. You draw only what you need and repay on your own timeline. As someone who's spent time in mortgage lending, the HELOC is genuinely underutilized by homeowners for smart home improvement projects. If you love concrete, but the cost feels heavy, go with a standard broom finish for most of the driveway and add a decorative element near the street or the garage apron. You get the curb appeal pop at a fraction of the full custom price. And a pro tip for asphalt specifically, ask your contractor about a 2-course plan. Binder course now, use it through the winter, surface course in the spring. This will help with cash flow while still getting you a drivable surface fast. Whatever direction you go, always compare total cost of ownership, not just the upfront price. Installation, maintenance over the years, and the expected lifespan. This is the real number that matters. So how do you decide which is right for you? Here it is simply. Go asphalt if you need a fast turnaround, you're in a freeze-thaw climate, you're budget conscious, you might sell in the next several years, or your existing base is solid enough for an overlay. Go concrete if you're staying long-term, or you're in a hotter climate where asphalt can soften. You want decorative finishes, or your HOA requires it. And no matter which you choose, base preparation and compaction are everything. The best surface material in the world fails fast on a bad base. Make sure your contractor is talking to you about drainage slope, subgrade compaction, and the proper thickness for your specific vehicle loads. Those conversations separate a great contractor from one who'll have you calling for a redo in 3 years. Let me leave you with one final thought, and I want to show you something outside. I'm standing on the proof right now. A crumbling, neglected 1983 driveway, completely transformed. If your driveway is giving you problems, I hope this gave you everything you need to make a confident decision. The right material, how to maintain it properly from day one, the right questions to ask your contractor, and how to plan the money aside. And if you've just moved into a new construction home, please go seal that driveway. Your builder didn't do it. Protect your investment. If this helped you, hit subscribe, tap that like button, and ring that bell icon so you get notified every time I drop something new. I cover real home projects like this one, smart home tips, home buying advice, home design, and everything in between. There's a lot more coming and you don't want to miss it. Drop a comment below. Are you team asphalt or team concrete? And if you're in a new home, tell me whether you knew about sealing before watching this. I read every single comment. The full written breakdown with cost, side-by-side comparison, and financing options is linked in the description. And one more thing, if you're in the home buying process or just moved into a new home and want to know everything I know, I've got a book coming out at the end of March 2026 called Your Key to Home. It's the complete guide to the home buying journey. Everything I've learned across nearly 30 years in the industry, all in one place. The link is in the description. I'm Justin, and this is Justin's Key to Home Life, where I help you live better in the home you love. See you on the next one.